Hi guys. So for today's math practice, we're going to be looking at some measurement activities. So we're going to be playing a few games today. But before you play those games, I want you to watch this visual learning from our Envision math program. And it's just going to help walk you through a little bit of how to use a ruler to measure to the nearest inch. And then on the two games that you're going to have the opportunity to play today, you're going to be reading some measurements on rulers on the computer. So instead of having you guys do these things at home, which you're welcome to do if you have a ruler, but I wanted to give you an option just in case you don't have a ruler. Okay, so we're going to watch the visual learning first on how to measure things to the nearest inch. So this is going to be rounding things up to the nearest inch or down to the nearest inch. And then in the games today, you'll be able to practice with some other types of measuring in inches and centimeters, which you're going to be able to choose. Okay, so let's watch this together.
You can measure the length and height of an object in inches. An inch is a standard unit of measure. That means 1 inch is the same length on every ruler. To measure the length or height of an object, start from the left side of the ruler, where 0 would be. Next, measure to the nearest inch. Look for the halfway mark. What is the length of the eraser to the nearest inch?
Select your answer.
So if you look at this eraser on this ruler, you're going to notice that it doesn't go all the way to the 2-inch mark. But if we're talking about measuring to the nearest inch, then I would say that if we find the halfway mark, then the nearest inch would be 2 inches. So I'm going to pick 2.
It is longer than the halfway mark, so use the greater number. The eraser is about 2 inches long. If the object is shorter than the halfway mark, use the smaller number. What is the length of the pine cone to the nearest inch?
Select your answer.
So just like you said, if I look at this one, this pine cone is less than or lower than the halfway mark between 1 and 2. So we would call this nearest inch 1 inch.
The pine cone is shorter than the halfway mark, so it is about 1 inch long. You have learned how to measure the length and height of objects to the nearest inch.
Okay, so now you are going to go to the links on Google Classroom, and you've got a couple of choices for some measuring games today. And I want you to just practice on the games, looking at the objects, and then reading the rulers. And if you have the opportunity at home to use a ruler of your own and measure a few items, it would be a great idea to practice what we learned today about measuring to the nearest inch. Okay, thanks for listening, guys.